Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be finally reviewing the brand new Huda Beauty Faux #Faux filter foundation. This is another product that the whole world is basically keeling over backwards for. Pretty sure it's her first complexion product that she's released. I'm a Huda Beauty virgin, okay? And she's also launched a primer with it as well. This foundation here is supposed to give you beautiful, photoshopped, perfect skin without having to spend the hours on Photoshop. So I am like uber keen to see how this goes. A little bit about this one, I'm just reading off the website. It's an intelligent liquid foundation that blends seamlessly with skin and dries to a radiant matte powder finish that looks luminous but not dry or cakey. It's meant to have good for your skin ingredients in it like argan oil, and a whole bunch of long scientific words that are known for their hydrating properties. It's meant to be a fade-proof formula. It's meant to work simultaneously to improve skin texture. It will give you a full coverage, flawless finish with just one pump. Medium buildable coverage. It seems you can do medium coverage or full coverage with this one. It's basically just meant to be freaking amazing. It says right there on the website, for extra wearability, apply the primer first. So I'm assuming that these two products are made to go hand in hand with each other. I'm going to be using the primer on only one side of my face and then another primer on the other side because you don't really want to have to use the primer to be able to use the foundation. Hopefully you don't have to, but yeah, we're about to find out. As per all of my foundation reviews, I'm going to be wearing this one for 12, it's actually probably going to be about 15 hours wear today. I'm going to wear it through the entire day, doing all the things that I need to do, and then we're going to do one check-in during the day, and then I'm going to check in finally later on tonight, right before I take my makeup off, to show you exactly how it wore. If you are new here to my channel, I have an extremely oily skin type. I'm very picky with foundations because I need a foundation to work perfectly and work for me during the day. I don't want to have to bend over backwards to try and make a foundation work. So for the price of this one, it is quite pricey. This one is $40 US, so it is quite pricey, especially with the shipping. The shipping to Australia, it was like, I think all up, I spent about 200 Australian dollars to get this here to me. So it was quite expensive. So fingers crossed it's actually good. All right, going with the primer first. Directions: apply a dime size amount. I wish they wouldn't do that. The rest of us on the other side of the world don't know what a dime is. Can be used alone or as a pre-makeup base for a hydrating and skin smoothing effect. All right. So this is what the external packaging looks like. The foundation is very much the same. It's got like a soft touch laminate finish, foil detailing, all the writing is white. Primer is 30 ml, and then the actual, oh look at that. Actually, to me it looks very similar to her eyelash glue. I don't know why I think. Okay. Oh, and it's got a little pump dispenser out. Oh, okay. Primer's actually quite a thick consistency. I hope you can see that. Oh, it is very thick actually. It does have a very light scent to it. Nearly like, I could be wrong, but it smells like lavender or something like that. Very light scent though. Now, obviously these products aren't targeted towards oily skin types specifically. It does say on the website, just powder if you've got oily skin, and it's meant to be used for all skin types. So we shall find out. I definitely pumped out way too much primer because I've already covered half of my face with that. To be honest, I'm not loving how this feels on my skin. It has left quite, it's like a greasy kind of residue on my skin. It feels sticky. Oh, I don't like that. Even on my fingers, like it feels nearly like when you apply a sunscreen to your body, you know, that kind of film. I'll give it some time to settle though, because it might actually settle into the skin over, you know, as it kind of sets. On this side of my face, I'm going to use my much loved and trusted Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. This is my favorite primer in the whole entire world pretty much, and I will pretty well wear it on an everyday basis. So I think it's a really good kind of control product to use in these foundation tests. Okay, so both of those primers are on. See, this side of my face feels beautiful and smooth, and this side unfortunately feels, it's sticky and it feels heavy and greasy. Just being completely honest. All right, moving on to the foundation. This one, you get 35 ml of product. Using a pump or less, apply foundation evenly all over the face with a dense brush or a beauty sponge. I didn't bother buying. She's released a foundation brush to use specifically with this. I didn't bother buying it because it was really expensive, and I've got a million brushes. It says it's a high coverage cream foundation, effortless application, camouflages imperfections and pigmentation, soft focus filter finish. I like the sound of that. Now, a lot of the shades were sold out, so I've purchased 2 here to try and hopefully mix them to come up with a shade that matches me. I've got Butter Pecan, which is 330N, and Cheesecake, which is 250G. This foundation does come in 36 different colors, which is really fantastic. And it looks like it also really caters for deeper skin tones as well as super light skin tones, which is really good to see. Okay, this is the actual packaging of the foundation. To be honest, I feel like I'm being such a picky bitch, but it feels quite lightweight in comparison to what I thought, especially for the price. It's a plastic canister. I would have preferred probably something a little bit more luxe, perhaps glass or, you know, something like that. You take the cap off and then there is a pump nozzle. I mean, it's pretty, but it just, I don't know, it does feel kind of cheap. Oh. All right, so this is Butter Pecan. Just want to see the formula. Okay, so the formula is, I would call it kind of like a medium thickness. It is sort of semi-thick, but it's still runny at the same time. And that's what the shade, oh, actually, I lie. Sorry, this is the shade Cheesecake. That one doesn't look so bad. Butter Pecan might look like a better match. Ugh. I kind of got like a yellow undertone and a pink undertone. Well, a yellow undertone and a neutral undertone. So there is the 2 shades of it there. It's looking a lot more like this one is going to match me. Kind of seems like this formula gets runnier as it warms up in the back of your hand as well. So first up, we're going to go in with a Beauty Blender sponge. And I'm just going to use probably a mixture of both of these colors. I'm going to begin applying it over the side of my face that has the Huda Beauty primer. Oh, it smells exactly the same as the primer does actually. And that primer, it might have set down a little bit, but there's still a residue, like it feels kind of heavy on my skin. Okay, first off the bat, it's definitely amazing coverage. Really, really full coverage on my skin. I don't feel like I would need to go in and build this. It's meant to be medium coverage and then buildable to high coverage, but I don't feel like I would actually need to go in with any more product. I feel like that looks really nice. Holy crap, it makes my skin look good. Whoa. It's covering up redness really well. It's covering up my acne spots really well. It definitely looks like a filter on the skin. Like I feel like my skin looks really, really nice. I feel like I have to zoom you guys in so you can see how good my skin looks. It looks fake. It looks so perfect that it doesn't look like it belongs to me. Have a look at that. Are you kidding? It kind of sets down a little as well. Not entirely, but it definitely does sit down a little. So here is my skin normally, and then look. Whoa. I'm gonna go in and do the other side now. These colors mixed together are actually matching me not too bad at all. I'm really not the biggest fan of the smell. Kind of smells like, I don't know, it reminds me of sunscreen. Does it have sunscreen? No, it's got no SPF coverage. I've definitely used more than 1 pump or less though. I will say that. It did say on the back of the package you could do your whole face with 1 pump or less. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. My face looks very smooth. My skin looks smooth. I feel like it looks really, really, really nice. It doesn't look like it's settling into my enlarged pores or fine lines. Oh, it might be settling just a little bit here on the sides of my mouth. Everywhere else it looks beautiful. It has set down, not all the way, not to like a powdery kind of matte velvet finish, but it definitely has set down. Before I powder it or put concealer on, I don't even think I need concealer to be honest. I'd be happy to go without concealer. But before I powder it, let's do a really quick flash test to see if this one flashes back. That looks really good to me. That does not look like it flashes back at all. So far I'm super impressed. And this is what my skin is looking like close up. I honestly think it looks really, really good. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that my skin looks nicer than it normally does? Because I think that it does. Definitely set down. It might feel a little bit tackier on this side where I applied the Huda Beauty primer though. But yes, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and quickly apply the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back to show you what it looks like, and then we'll start our check-ins throughout the day. All right, so here is what my skin is looking like now that I've got the rest of my makeup on. Honestly, it looks gorgeous. I have powdered. I used the Mercier loose translucent powder to set it all down. I put on some bronzer and some blush and some highlighter. I think that my skin does look honestly really, really nice. What I'm going to do now is go ahead with the rest of my day. I'm going to check in after about 6 hours, show you guys how my skin is looking. Then I'll be back tonight, again, probably looking like a hot damn mess, and we'll see how it's held up throughout the day. So I'll talk to you guys then. Hey guys, so it's now 2 o'clock here, and I wanted to do a quick check-in and show you how my face is going. Unfortunately, we have had a couple of setbacks, and I will zoom you guys in so you can see a little bit better, but we've had some caking and some separating and also some creasing, which is a real shame. I might even try and turn like the light down so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so hopefully you can see in this darker lighting, can you see the creasing and the cracking that's happening? It's happening on both sides of my mouth, but it's definitely worse on the side that I applied the Hourglass Mineral Veil. And I will just say quickly, that doesn't normally happen when I wear the Mineral Veil Primer with any other foundations. It's going to be really hard to see in this light, but I hope the camera picks it up. The foundation is actually, it's separating on my chin. Yeah, I'm not too sure why, but it's definitely separating on my skin. And I just feel as an overall, I mean, these kind of parts of my face look good. My forehead looks pretty good. But certainly down here around my mouth where there's lots of movement and whatnot, the foundation's, yeah, definitely separating and caking and creasing. Tell you what though, overall the oil factor looks pretty damn good. I'm definitely shiny on both sides of my nose. Oh, it's actually really settled just on the side of my nose here as well. They look like little blackheads, but it's just the foundation sinking into the pores. And it looks like it's done it less on the Hourglass Veil Primer side. Interesting, but yeah, overall, like, I'm not oily. I'm definitely not oily, which is definitely really, really impressive. My skin still looks matte, but at the same time, it looks healthy. So we're conducting a children's birthday party here tonight, so if there's anything in the world that'll make me oily, surely it's that. But yes, I will talk to you guys again later on tonight. Hey guys, so I'm back with my final check-in and final thoughts on the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. After a whole day of where I am definitely oily, I'm certainly not as oily as I am with a lot of other foundations that we've tested in the past, but it definitely will not control oils, but at the same time it's not marketed at doing that, it's not targeted towards doing that, so I wasn't really expecting it to anyway. The biggest concern that I've had with this foundation is transferring, so there's a huge chunk of foundation kind of missing underneath here, under my chin. It's separated all over my chin, and there's like faded patches missing where I might have, at some point come into contact with the skin there. My other major issue with this foundation is the amount of settling it does. So it really, really settles into fine lines, really, really settles into pores, it settles into wrinkles, it settles into my smile lines. If you've got really, really dry skin, I wouldn't recommend this one at all, because I think that it's just going to cling onto those drier areas and really show up on the skin and probably make you look a lot more aged than you actually are. I'll zoom you guys in quickly so that we can have a close look at my skin, but there's a lot of shifting and separating going on, and I just can't get on board with that. Okay, so here's an example of the settling into smile lines that's happening beside my mouth here. You can see there's like quite distinct lines all the way down from my nose, sort of down the side of my mouth. I just feel like it's making the skin there look a lot more aged and dehydrated than it actually is. I'm not sure I'm really going to be able to show you this on camera, but there is a huge patch of foundation kind of missing all here where you can see the skin. And you touch it and like, look at that. Like it comes straight off. It doesn't hold up well with oil at all. By the looks of that, it's also oxidized to some degree, because as I'm shifting that around, that's looking a lot lighter, isn't it? Yeah, it's definitely not transfer proof. It's also caking here on my chin. It's caked quite a bit on the side of my nose. It's separated quite a lot on the end of my nose. When you first apply it, it looks absolutely flawless. It just looks like you've got a Photoshop filter on your face. I reckon it really only took about 40 minutes for it to really start settling into my fine lines and pores and showing up quite a bit of texture. So for me, it's a no-go for me. I definitely will not be repurchasing. I definitely do not recommend it. Unfortunately for me, this is just, I can't do separating, I can't do caking, I can't do products that transfer this easily, and I can't do products that settle into fine lines. So unfortunately for me, this one was a no-go, guys. I don't really think there's too much difference between the side where I've applied the Huda Beauty primer. So despite the fact that it was so greasy and, there was quite an oily residue on my skin when I first applied it, I don't really think it's altered the way that foundation has worn throughout the day. I don't think that this side is looking more oily than this side necessarily. I think they look about the same, but I mean, look, if I go like this, you see that just all come off? It all just, oh look, there's like a streak there. It's, you touch it and it goes everywhere. It's really, really not transfer safe at all. There's like this weird oxidizing thing happening. Like as I touch the foundation, it goes lighter in the patch where it's been touched. That is strange, isn't it? Look at that. I'm just going to have a quick go at touching it up and see what happens, how it sort of goes with that. I just feel like there's a lot of texture on my skin at the minute. It's a shame because it's one of those ones when you first apply it, it's like, whoa, I look so perfect. But then after it's been on the skin for a little while, not so much. Definitely does look a little cakey, but at the same time, it has touched up okay. I'm missing a fair bit of it from my nose. So for me, unfortunately, this one does not get a thumbs up, guys. I think for the price, there's plenty of other products out there on the market that will perform better throughout the day. If you're a very, very, very dry skin type, I would shy away completely. I would love to know your thoughts on this foundation. Have you tried it? What are your thoughts on it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And please also make sure that you watch, several other reviews depending on what your skin type is, because I do know that there are other people out there that do adore this product. For me, for starters, the packaging, it feels very plasticky and, not really, really high quality. It's very expensive and I just did not get a good wear or experience out of using it. So those are my final thoughts, guys. I hope you found today's video helpful and I hope that it helped those of you who have been requesting a review on this foundation. If you've got any more questions about it, please leave them down below. I love you all so, 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 so much and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!